Hey guys, John with JRSP, Johnson Reality Self Protection, and today we're going to be talking about the first Seardo palm thrust. So we're not going to go into a long spill. I got stuff to do, but real quick, like in Seardo anymore in JRSP, we don't focus on punching. Punching is like in a self preservation situation, and you're having to defend yourself with your empty hands, which I would hate for you to have to do. And the only reason I'm going to be teaching you guys empty hand tactics is because, like, it's an absolute last resort. And, Seardo is unlike, I'm not talking bad about Medusa, but unlike Medusa, which I'm studying to become an instructor in. Medusa is an edged weapon system, and that's its focus. It's very simplistic, to the point. It's point driven, and it's like about using a pointed object to stab somebody. But like I said in the prior video, you can make Medusa a vaster system. Basically, you can make it more fleshed out because it operates on the principles of shock, latch, and stab. But it doesn't, like, it's not like in depth in that. Like, Medusa doesn't dictate how you shock, and it doesn't dictate how you latch. It gives you some references. It doesn't even really. It does kind of dictate how you stab, because in Medusa there are six stabs, and there's three. Um, they call it hammer grip and ice pick grip. I call it, because in Seardo, I'm just going to still call it reverse and forward, or forward and reverse grip. And Medusa, there are three forward grip stabs and three reverse grip stabs, and that comes to a grand total of six stabs. Like we just, the last video, talked about the eight stabs of Seardo. And you know it's like I'm still probably going to teach eight stabs, because that's how I've been training for years, man. And that's why I like Medusa, because Medusa came along and it's really akin to like how I think. But I've been training with eight stabs for years, and I think they're valid. So, you know um I don't know how well it's going to fly over with the founders and my instructor, but that's just what I'm going to do. And if they don't like it, I guess, like, for them, I'll like axe it, but like I'm still going to teach it in Seardo, like as eight stats, because I mean, you have four trajectories, okay, and you have a stab at the end of each of those trajectories. So I mean, it's like, come on. But anyhow, um, Medusa is not a, like, it's not a, like uh, I don't know how to say this without trying to, well, I'm not trying to make it sound bad, because I love Medusa, but it's not like a fleshed out system. It's not like a complete system. Basically, it's just like Medusa is like a component, like it's like something you could add to another system or whatever. It's like it's like an this sounds bad, but it's kind of like an add-on, but it could be very standalone. You can make a whole system out of Medusa, but you would have to do that because um, it's very loosely constructed, as in, there's no um, set way of doing things in certain stages, like in say shock or latch. Um, there's a definitive outline to how you should do it, like, but um, it's not like you stay in a certain realm. Like in shock, um, shock is basically, your it's basically how you get to latch. You shock the person, like, and there's no set way of how you shock a person. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the only thing that's set in stone is that you do it to destroy. You do it to end the fight. Like, if you could end it in shock, That's great. So however you decide to shock, you do it like beyond the best of your capabilities. You do it hard. You do it fast. You do it to destroy. Like, and you like whatever you're striking, like whatever area of the body you're hitting, you're trying to destroy it. You want to end the situation right then and there. But if the situation doesn't end there, there's still um like it's still planned out to go further. It's like if you can't end it there, well, now we're going into latch, and there's not really any set in stone way to latch. They give you references on how to latch, on like, well, not even how to latch. They give you references on latches like that you could do in the system, but they're not telling you, hey, yeah, this is, we do this and that. It's not like constructed into a system there. It's just like, this is how you could do it. But if you're gonna do it, make sure that you're being aggressive, and make sure you're pulling those people in tight, because you don't want to freaking let them make space, because if you've gotten this far, you're gearing up for the bad. I told my instructor, Brian Kanata, it's like a traffic light: green, yellow, red. Like when in shock, you're in green, okay, and when you're in latch, you're in yellow, and when you're having to stab, you're in red. So when you stab, Medusa has kind of that's where Medusa kind of has a set way of how they want things done. Like, because there's like, oh yeah, they have a certain amount of stabs and a certain way that they want it done. But that's what Medusa is, and that's why I can say it's kind of an add-on system, because you can, like, even the founder, like Mike Raymond, he said, yeah, it's made to be added on to what you're doing, basically. And so, but you could make Medusa its own thing. But Seardo is already a whole established curriculum, and it's not established like throughout people, but it's a curriculum that I made that has a certain way to do everything, and that's like in our thrust punch, in our palm thrust, like we have 4 palm thrusts, okay, and the first number 1 is gonna be like just a straight palm thrust, and it's gonna look like this right here. Now watch closely, because you got to see, Seardo stands for simple, effective, aggressive, realistic, and the most important thing in this case is the aggression. A lot of cases, and that's the same with Medusa. But when I freaking go to palm thrust, my initiator, my initiator tell is like, if I do something like this, like, you know if I have to do something like this, and I'm approaching, like I'm closing the distance, this is only to throw you off, to make you feel safe, you know, but you're not safe here. I'm about to light you up, so um, if I'm doing this, you're close enough to be lit up. So, like, right here, I drive in to my adversary. If you saw just how aggressive, I launched my whole body into that strike. We'll do it again. With this hand right here, I came over. Let me say his arms were up like that. I came over. I pulled that hand down. Okay, and I'm not saying that you have to do that. You can do that without even touching that arm. Right here, I can be like, but the first time I did it, I came in, I pulled that hand down to make sure it's out of the way so I can have my way right here. And how I did it, man, I did it like with sheer aggression, okay? I launched my whole body into the attack, because I've seen people that I've been trying to train, like, they'll do something, they'll be standing, and it's like, no, you gotta get in a good stance. They're standing, and they do this. Something like, I can't even really do it. It's like, I don't know, it's like they don't get their body into it, and like when they do the strike, it like pushes them back or something. It's like, and when you do it that way, you lose everything. You lose all the power. It's just completely ineffective. Like I'm basically when I do this, I'm basically like in the air almost, like trying to jump into this thing and like just shoot out that almost like a Superman punch concept, except I'm not getting that high. I'm not leaving the ground. But if you know what a Superman punch is, like they just jump up and like put all that momentum and weight down on that punch. That's kind of the concept. It's like I'm trying to launch my whole body and my whole momentum into that. Like, so, like, I'll do it again so you can see. And this is just the one coming off of the rear. That's going to be your most powerful strike. Simply because, look, it's like I don't claim to be a genius or the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm far from the dullest, but, I'm not like a freaking expert on physics and stuff. But common sense, I was born with a lot of common sense. And, like, simply put, like, coming off the rear side, the attack coming from the farthest away is gonna have the most momentum. Basically, that's why this punch back here. Like they say, haymaker punches and stuff like that. A lot of wind up, but haymaker punches are so powerful because they're coming from so far back. They built up that momentum to strike the person. Like, but that being said, you could also throw this palm thrust off the lead hand side, and you're gonna want to let's move the camera over here to the lead side. You can see that right there. Like, so once again though, still same concept. You want to put all your freaking force into that, all your momentum, all your weight. It's like if I'm coming inside, I'm not trying to tap this guy. Okay, I'm freaking I'm like put everything I have when I go in there, I'm trying to freaking put this guy's face through the back of his skull. So, like, it doesn't look pretty. Like, Seardo's not meant to look pretty, okay? Seardo's simple, effective, aggressive, realistic. I'm not training to look pretty, okay? I'm not training for perfection. I'm training for, self-preservation, self-protection. And if I have to, like, I don't even want to have to do that. I don't even want to have to use my empty hands. I don't even want to have to, like, come into contact with the dude. Okay? I don't want to freaking if you can go hands off and in the situation, that's the best thing to do. Like, if I can take my flashlight, I used to be real against flashlights until I worked at Domino's and had to deliver pizzas like late into the night and early in the morning and like into sketchy areas at night. Like this flashlight, well, I have another flashlight too, but these flashlights came in handy because bad guys are looking for soft targets and they're looking for the element of surprise. And some people will use the darkness as that element, okay? And when you rob them of that, like with like 1,000 plus looms right here, this light's so bright I can like light up the night and just do a scanning motion and a quick scanning motion and just know like what is about and what's around me just like it was freaking daytime. Okay, and like that may deter some potential attackers to like they may be like, what, that dude is gonna see us coming, he's lighting the place up, so we need to go find another victim and stuff like that. But if they don't, like if they're just gonna stand there has been times that I've had to stop people dead in their tracks, okay? Like, and they were coming towards me and I lit them up. And this light's so bright, I mean, it causes massive anxiety, okay, and disorientation. And I've had to light them up just like this right here and tell, hey, look, I don't know you, man. I don't know you and I don't know your intentions. But I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you, don't come any closer because if you come any closer, I just warned you, you're going to let me know that your intentions aren't good. And so don't come any closer. And fortunately, it's always worked. Okay. I've never had anybody like try and like push past the light. Like it's made people unhappy, but it's not against the law to shine a light on somebody, and it's made some people like, dude, what the crap? Like, why are you freaking doing? Why are you being that way or something like that? But I didn't know them, so it's like I don't care. But on the chance that they decided to push their luck, then you know that their intentions are not good. And anything like I say you could do to like not have to go hands on, okay, is the best thing that you can do. And when you have this light and you're blinding them, now they can't see what you're doing. Okay, they can't see what you're reaching for, and they can't see you at all. Okay, they can only see this light. It's in the night, and they can't see that maybe you have some hot palm pepper spray. And if you've already warned them not to come any closer, but they continue, well, now they're getting pepper spray, and they can't see that you're about to pepper spray them, but you can see them really well to paint like Picasso on their face with pepper spray, right into their eyes, and get out of there. And when you pepper spray somebody, you don't just stand there and be like, "Oh, hey, man, like, yeah, are you good? I told you, like, not to come any closer." You don't stand there and trying to have a conversation or whatever. You get out of there. You ENE, engage, neutralize, exit. Like right there. Neutralize doesn't mean that you killed the person. Neutralize doesn't mean that you, like, incapacitated the person. It doesn't mean that you like punched the person. It means that you freaking stopped their potential attack or whatever in that moment, and it could be for like 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds could be enough for you to get out of there to safety. That's all neutralize really means. You E, you engage, neutralize, exit the situation. But on the poor chance that you have to go hands on, it's like you always got to remember, like, that to do things with the optimum, absolute highest, like, intensity. Like, you see, like, when I freaking hit this dude with a palm thrust, man, I try to hit him as hard as I can, like right in that nose or in the forehead. Because you don't want to punch somebody in the forehead with a closed hand because you'll break your hand. But you can definitely hit somebody with a palm into the forehead, because the palm can just take a lot more punishment. But you really want to go for that nose, even that jaw. But that nose is really the ideal spot. Or even right, like the brow line here is a really good spot to hit him with. And when you hit, you don't stop hitting until the situation's done. Like, if you have to hit somebody, keep hitting them until they're done. But at the same time, always know the law. Okay, the law of self-defense. Like, you can't. When they're done, and you can't keep hitting them after that. If you keep hitting them after that, now you're in trouble and you're going to jail. You hit the person right in the face. I freaking do that right there, and that knocks him out, which probably not, because knockout power is one thing. It's like, if you got it, you got it. If you don't got it, it's like you may have to keep on hitting, to gain that effect. But don't ever think that, oh, you're Deontay Wilder and you're just gonna freaking knock somebody out. No, be prepared to freaking continue hitting. But yeah, but say that first shot knocks a dude out and he falls flat on the ground. Okay, and he's done. He's asleep. Yeah, you stomping him, kicking him, getting on his face and like slapping him around, putting him in a garbage can and wheeling him out to the road, you're going to jail for that. So know your laws. But in most places, you, like, when a person's done, they're done. You can't continue. So but continue until they're done. So hey, you guys, this is Ja with JRSP, Johnson Reality Self Protection. That is the Seardo palm thrust, the first Seardo palm thrust, because there's 4 and we're going to go over those. Always remember that the world is a big place and all the dangers are very real, and it's always better, when you can, it's always better just to walk away. So you guys take it easy.